Spread killer asset. You're minting on super rare. Got the first mint in very early 2020. What happened after that?
From that point on, I was still working full time at, 2 jobs. Then a month later, kind of the pandemic hit, and it was like, oh, well, I don't have to commute into the city anymore. I can work in the mornings and my evenings from home. Essentially, I was working from home all the time anyways, but I had like all this extra time now that I was able to kind of just work on these art pieces. And so then, especially, I think a lot of us, when the pandemic hit, you start to reevaluate your time, and you're like, what am I going to do with all this like extra time? Because I have no social life. And so I was like, oh, well, I want to learn new technology. I want to learn, more 3D. I want to do all these different things. And so then my super rare pieces became kind of a way for me to like learn new things. So you can see like each one's like experimenting in different directions style wise, but trying to keep them all kind of cohesive. And so during that time, I would say like a month or two later, Pranksy gave me a plot of land in crypto voxels, and I got really deep into like learning crypto voxels and how to build in that.
Yeah.
And so I spent a few months like building this like candy shop that was part of his like district, alongside like Hackatow and A Lot of Money and Coldy and Giselle Flores and all these people. And I got to like kind of connect with all these artists like like Sarah Zucker and all these people. And like through that, I became kind of embedded into this awesome community of like OG artists that kind of like I learned a lot from, like watching how they worked. And everyone was so, it was a very small space. So everyone was very giving with advice and time and all this stuff. Is like when I talked to Josie early on, I like picked her brain for like an hour on like how to go about like pairing physical work with digital work and all this stuff. And so it's like, it was a very fun time of just like massive amounts of like learning from each other. And then that put me in a position that by the time the summer had ended and things started to pick up, a collector or an artist named Ikaitsa put together a Nifty Gateway drop and put me on Nifty Gateway.